Periods, are they heavy? If they're heavy, it's shit. I'm Jelly Bean addict Tanya Hennessy, and welcome to the Awkward Ask. Today's episode, we're talking about heavy periods. Today we're going to be joined by the beautiful pharmacist, Lynn. Hi, Lynn.
Hi.
Do you want a jelly bean? Do you have jelly beans? Yes. I put this in my contract.
Your T's and C's.
You can have one.
Thank you.
Sorry, these aren't to share, by the way. This is sort of... let's just put it out there because it's the top of the episip. What is a period?
It can get quite technical, but if we want to
It's
just
a quick
kind
episode, Lynn, so nice and quick.
we go through like a month-long cycle, and during that cycle, your hormones will go up and down. And it's all part of like the baby making process as well. So if women, we've got a uterus, and what happens is your lining in the uterus thickens, and then the whole point of that thickening is so when you try to conceive, there is a soft, bouncy platform for the egg and the embryo to implant. So it's a soft landing. Now, when you're not trying to conceive, that lining needs to go away so that the next month it can prepare again and you release an egg. And so with a period, it's your body shedding that lining, and with it the cells, uterine lining, the mucus, blood with it, so that it can prepare for the next month. And that's again when the cycle happens.
I think heavy periods are really common. Am I right or wrong?
You are correct.
Oh my God, finally.
Yes. So 1 in 5 women have or experience heavy bleeding.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
What do you think about doing a blood drive?
Oh man.
Not a period blood drive, and calling it Lynn and Tanya's bloody good time.
That's actually so good.
Thank you so much. I don't know how these ideas come to me, but I would like to know the distinction between a normal period and a heavy period.
Mm-hmm. We're all unique.
Facts.
Right? So genes, genetics, hormone levels, weight, shape, we're all unique, and that rings true for our periods also. So textbook says that what constitutes a normal period is anywhere from 3 to 7 days in terms of duration. And volume is about 120 mils.
I swear it's more.
That being said, only about 35 to 40 mils is the actual blood.
Yeah,
right?
What's the rest?
The rest are cells, so the uterus lining.
Right.
That constitutes a large volume of that. So only a small part of it's actually blood.
Wow.
Yeah. Think of it as, 2.5 tablespoons.
Some people do get 2.5 tablespoons, but
Yeah.
for the rest of us who do have heavy periods,
Mm-hmm.
what is the description of that? Or
So more than that volume and for longer.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you also have to change, if you wear tampons, if you have to change your tampon every hour,
Yep.
that can constitute a heavy period as well.
Yep.
If you bleed through clothing during the day and at nighttime, if you have to wake up in the night to change to change over your nighttime pad, that could also constitute a heavy period.
But people who suffer and endure a heavy period, it's so frustrating because that time of the month you're like,
Yeah.
So what do you think the best way to manage it is?
So if you leak overnight, I would recommend a nighttime pad. They are longer, they are wider, and often they have the wings. So if you get the wings, you can kind of wrap that around your underwear, and it kind of stays.
Yep.
To go one up on that, you can have period briefs, which are like
I've seen those.
Yeah.
Like a 360 coverage.
Yes.
And they're actually quite small.
discreet.
They are discreet, and they're quite, they cling to your body.
Yeah.
I think they're a really good idea.
Yeah, and I think that's the purpose, is so that it minimizes leakage. Keeps things secure, gives you a good night's rest. Because if you're feeling tired already, you want a good night's sleep, right?
And you don't want to ruin your sheets.
That's it.
Which does happen, if you have a heavy flow, that is a consequence.
And it's a
of it.
fear. It's a fear, and it can cause a bit of anxiety too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Here's a random suggestion.
Yes.
What about 2 pads at the same time? One down the back, one down the front.
Why do that when you can get a nighttime?
You know what? That's why you're here. That's why I'm the face of jelly beans, hopefully, and you're the face of pads. What a beautiful face of pads.
Thanks so much.
You know what I do love? You know how sometimes those Libra pads have fun facts on them?
Oh, aren't they great?
I love coming out of the bathroom because I'm always like armed with a fact. Did you know that the Bible is printed less times than the IKEA catalogue? The IKEA catalogue is the most published book in the world.
I did not know that.
Thank you, Libra, for the pads and the facts. Mainly the facts, but also the pads.
Now, once you've tried all the options within, in a pharmacy, you've done the pads, you've done the tampons, you've doubled up if needed, and it's still affecting your day-to-day and it's not helping, we would refer you to your GP. And there are options, medications, contraceptive pills to help normalize the period, get things back in balance for you. Yeah.
So obviously, not only do you bleed heavily when you've got a heavy period, you also have the side effects of like nausea, headaches, bloating, lower back pain. What are the ways to sort of manage that kind of stuff?
Doesn't being a woman sound lovely?
It's just the worst.
So things like cramps, headaches, back pain, there are painkillers. So you can take analgesics. Nothing too heavy, it doesn't have to be anything too heavy. Some light analgesics, anti-inflammatories if you'd like. But then there are other things that if you're not into medications, you could use heat packs.
Heat pack's a good time.
A minute in the microwave does wonders. Yeah, it's a great time.
They have got so many options of heat bags at Priceline. Why? Because I frequent the shop far too often. But they've got this one where you clip it around your back and then you can attach it at the front so it just stays on your lower back.
Warmth and security.
That's a good time.
So in addition to feeling cramps, you could also feel quite tired.
Yeah.
Because bear in mind, you're losing blood essentially. And in blood, you've got iron. And iron, for us is energy, keeps the blood flowing, helps us keep energized. So I would recommend coming in, speaking to your Priceline pharmacist. There are iron supplements that we can recommend for you, whether that's tablets or liquids.
Yep.
We've got ones that are a bit more gentle on the stomach. You can also combine that with a multivitamin if you want, just for a little bit of oomph. But there are so many different options available just to give you a boost of energy, especially when you've got your period. And you're run down as is, right? And then for anyone experiencing a heavy period as well, it's no fun.
And I think there is a bit of a stigma around having a heavy period when you're an adult. Like I remember bleeding through when I was like a teenager and I still do. And I still feel really like, oh, but now I've gotten to a point where I'm a bit older and I'm like, it's a human thing. Women are amazing. Our bodies are designed to do incredible things and this is just what happens as a part of that. So when I was definitely reading the briefing notes for this, it said that 40% of women skip their period when they're on the pill so they can have a less heavy period. Is that a good, safe thing to do?
Now, your body works in an amazing way, as we know, and women get our periods. Now, that's a natural thing. So I think it's quite important to allow it to happen. That being said, if you are on the pill and you are skipping frequently, speak to your pharmacist about it, speak to your GP about it, to find if there's a better way to manage or if that's the right thing to do for you.
Thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode of The Awkward Ass talking about heavy periods. If you've got a heavy period, you know exactly how frustrating it is. If you've got any questions, make sure you go to your Priceline pharmacist. They'll be able to answer any questions you have. We'll be back next week. Sing it in harmony, Lynn. Bye.